Welcome back, boys and some girls. Today I will be sharing my first impressions about Whiskerwood. It's recently came out, the early access. So what the hell even is Whiskerwood? It's a tile-based management sim where you can decide how you wanna, I don't know what you call it, make your rats suffer today. There's a lot of options you can do. You can shove them inside caves full of smoke and pollution, or you can force them to work from the morning till the sunset for years with no breaks. A few of the things you can do in the game is number 1, recruit members to your outpost. Number 2, you can build production lines. So from the field, then to production into making something, let's say flax into threads, and from threads into fabric, and then from fabric into clothes. You know, the basic stuff. You can also manage food, housing, and clothes for all of your rats. And I say you can, but you kind of have to do that. It's the basic thing. Now, when I started playing this game, I was immediately reminded of whenever I played Foundation and the fun I had while playing that game. And after I played for almost, let's say 60-ish hours, I feel that I'm actually ready for my first impressions video. So long story short, it's fun. It has flaws, but it's fun. It has the usual flaws: quality of life and long distance transportation. It's the exact same problems I had with Foundation. Now there is a positive thing to this one, because it's an early access project. They just came out. They are going to add feature text and feature things in the skill tree, in the research tree. And they also listen to the players. People already said from the demo and earlier that they want to see a production limit. And they want to be able to assign farms to specific fields. And lo and behold, what is it, like a few days after release? Here we go. We got the update. You can actually do that. There are still things that really bother me. Things like how long you have to wait for each action to be done. Let's say you want to mine like a room, or you want to mine like a line or something in the mountain. It's going to take a long time. If you want to maybe build a couple of buildings at the same time, it's going to take a long time, because the max thing you can have is time 3, and it's still slow. You can't skip days, you can't skip anything. You have to sit there and wait for day after day for your people to work. It starts out easy and very short for everything, but it becomes super long as you progress. There are a couple of things that add to this problem. Number 1, the trains you have in the game can only take 6 people at a time, and you can only have 1 train per loop. You can't add another one. The game just won't let you. So you can only have 6 people moving on a very long distance. And even if you want to make a couple of rail lines, you can't. They will only use 1. So that's bug number 1, or at least something number 1 you want to fix. And another thing is you have belts in the game. You have production lines you can do, right? The problem is the belts are extremely slow, and they have so many resources on them, and you have so many rats running around, so many animation and everything. The game is going to crash if you want to do any serious like long distance factory type thing, like in Satisfactory or something like that. It's going to crush your game. So they do need something else that's going to make it a little bit easier to transport materials over long distances. So now for the actual fun parts. What fun I had with the game. So number 1, there is a very robust and very big research tree that has a very nice progression to it, like very fun progression to it. You can start from very basic stairs that take so long to move, and you can see even on the items itself, it shows you the speed for the item, and you can progress from there into elevators and even steam power elevators, which makes it so much more fun and so much more fast. And you can build way more vertically now, because everything can be much more concise. You also start out with heating up in the winter using like fire, and you can move from then to steam radiators, so that you don't have pollution and smoke everywhere. And they heat even better and use even less fuel. It's way more efficient. There's a lot of things like that you can progress throughout the game and research tree. It's a ton of fun. There's very small things, like for example, a very basic item you need is machine parts, which actually lets you deal with durability for certain buildings, which I'll talk about, I guess, in the future a bit. And this item can only be unlocked as the last item in the entire skill tree currently. I don't know why I say skill tree, I mean research tree. So every time I say skill tree by accident, just imagine I said research tree, okay? It's the last item on the entire tree, and you can also buy this thing. That's why it's kind of, you can survive until the end. But I really think they should add like a very small, maybe copper gear at the start. So it has less durability than the last one, but you can still you don't have to rely on surprise tile boxes. We will call it like surprise mechanic, like EA loves to say. I don't need to hope that I'm gonna get like good RNG and get gears. That's not how you do like math and efficiency based games, management games. You don't base yourself on luck, like will I get it or will I not. That's not how this is supposed to work. Number 2, my most favorite things, efficiency. You can efficientize, how do you say it? You can just do a lot of efficiency or min maxing in this game. There's a lot to be done. You can put certain walkways in certain ways, and elevators here, and the shower over here, and the house over there, and the restaurant for the food there. There's a lot of things like that you can do to optimize the way your people work, and this way you actually gain more from the same amount of work that people do. It's a lot of fun. I really love this thing. In any other management game, factory game I do, I try to be optimized and do something. It's just a lot of fun for me. I don't know if it will be fun for you, but for me it was a lot of fun. Talking about efficiency, you have a lot of resources to manage, because as I mentioned at the start, you have something like flax, and then you can turn the flax into what do we call it, threads, and then from threads into fabrics, and then from fabrics into clothes. And you have the same thing, for example, for peppers you can turn it into spices, and from spices you can turn it into certain meals. So every item have a couple of states to it that you can combine with different things to create more things. And in the end, you have a lot of items you can work with. All of them needs different buildings, different people to manage. You have different kind of guilds, they call it in the game, that certain people are better for certain buildings. There's a lot of things like that to manage, and it's a lot of things, and it's a ton of fun. Number 4, what would a management game do without a very detailed statistic page for building and for people? This game has it. It's a ton of fun, and it's very useful to know what you need to do and how you need to do certain things. There's only one complaint I have, and it's like whenever games love to name things different names. I said it regarding one of the roguelikes I played way early on when I started this channel. Somebody called like a critical hit, a glazing hit, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what was the name, like a starring hit, something weird. Just everything, just not to name the thing critical hit. It's the same thing here. Why would you not just do a very normal, very useful, very consistent X items per minute? Certain buildings produce this per 144 seconds, and the other building produces one every 233 seconds. Who cares? How much per minute? Talk to me in per minutes. How much per minute? That's what we want to know. Or how much per day, right? So I know how much per day this produces. How much the farm produces per day. How much does the processing for the farm does per day? How much water can the pump take in every day? Those kind of things. It's just like a lot of things that would be very fun, and a way to even more optimize the efficiency that this game has. It's a ton of fun, and the stats in the game are already like robust, and there's already a lot of them. But you know, I'd always like to add like one more thing. And finally, we also have very useful tools in the game that help you manage kind of what you want to do and figure out what you want to do in general, like your plans and everything. You have a couple of tools. Number 1, you have a tool that calls, I think it's called the slice view, which lets you view a certain Y of the world all across the world, like all across the map. You can see a certain level. Everything above it is going to be cut, and everything below it you won't see. So you will only see that specific level. You can see through mountains, you can see through everything. For me, it's especially useful because I love to build inside of mountains because they conserve heat very well. It's also bad for, what do you call the other thing? Pollution. It's also very bad for pollution, but you can build chimneys and everything, and you can deal with this. So I really love to build inside mountains, so this slice view is extremely useful. Now, the other tool I wanted to mention is mining view. We're gonna call it mining view. I'm not sure what's the official name here. Whenever you want to look for resources, for example, because you need, I don't know, iron with charcoal or with coal to make steel, then you can actually use the mining view, which when you press M you'll see it. You have a couple of things on the top of the screen you can click, and it will actually highlight in yellow the kind of resource you're looking for. And it's very useful because you can just zoom out and see what islands has the resources you need. You can just go there and you can take whatever you need. It's very useful. Now, whenever you start out the game, there's a lot of options how you want this actual specific run to be. I chose a more relaxed option where I can actually just build in peace and just progress from there. I don't want any stress, just casual, fun, no need to worry too much. But you can have different things. You can have smaller maps, you can have pirates. I said nope, I don't want them, because it's kind of like having just, you know, double the tax. I just don't find it fun. It makes you build and work and plan out your things in very specific ways that I don't like to do. Overall, you have a very nice amount of options. If you want the things to be tailored specifically to you, you have it. There's a lot of options. So whenever you start a new run, you will need to do a couple of things. Number one, you need to have a stable economy, which means a couple of houses, food, and money to pay taxes. Number two, you need to research until you reach a certain milestone. And number three, you need to unlock the items and the buildings and build them and use them. And then number four, repeat. Once you unlock the new tier, you need to have a stable economy. Then you need to research until you reach the next milestone. And then you need to unlock that, buildings and everything inside of there. And then you need to have a stable economy, and you reach the level. You get what I'm going with this. It's a very nice cycle that you just build, unlock, stable, build, unlock. This is how you do things. It's a lot of fun, I think. All throughout the game, you will have to make sure that you have enough of everything, and you even future-proof yourself, which can be a little bit hard if it's kind of your first game in this genre, but you will be fine. You need food, you need housing, you need heat, you need clothes, you need tax money, and all of this just to stay stable without even expanding. So it's a lot, but it's not crazy if you played similar games. It's pretty much, you know how it works. It's nothing too crazy. There are also mechanics like durability for certain buildings, what I mentioned about the gears earlier on. You also have walking speed that is affected by rain, and if you have cover or not during it, it will affect your walking speed. You can also have walking speed affected by if your tires are heated or not whenever there's a snowstorm. There's quite a few interesting mechanics. Yes, I know some of them may not be the most important or the most impactful ever in the game, but the amount of them overall is impressive, and it's something that you have to notice and you have to pay attention to. You can't just ignore it. A couple of times whenever I was starting out, like in my first hours, I had my guys die off because of something small I just didn't know I should have done, or something small I didn't notice that kind of resulted in a pretty big cemetery I have around my city, just in case people might want to start dying off again. So you never know, just be on the lookout. So to summarize, I 100% recommend you go try out the early access. It's a ton of fun. If you played similar games, or if you maybe are willing to learn a little bit, then I think this game definitely is for you. It's a ton of fun. There are also probably a lot of features and a lot of things that I didn't mention, and I know I didn't mention them because it's not a review. If this was a review, I would have, but it's an early access project. It's not a completed game, so I'm not reviewing this early access. I'm just giving my impressions of what it is after like 60 hours maybe. So whenever version 1.0 comes out, you can expect a review. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, let me know why. So I can improve it. So keep it safe, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.